Yo, let's talk ball. Now, I'm gonna be frank with y'all. This is my third time trying to record this video because I can't personally wrap my thoughts around this trade. Now, on paper, this Bradley Beal trade, I've let it simmer in my head down a little bit. Technically, I'm pretty sure it still technically hasn't been finalized because they're trying to find that third partner for Chris Paul to go to and for him to contend to. And we'll see what that will involve. But the bare minimum, Bradley Beal is going to the Phoenix Suns from the Washington Wizards. Washington is getting not Chris Paul most likely, but Landry Shamet, a couple of second-round picks, and a couple of pick swaps at the very least. And the reason why I've been struggling so much with this goddamn video, sorry for the handling noise with the mic, is because on paper, you're improving what you had before. You're getting a slightly younger player that you don't really have to worry about their age. You don't really have to worry about Bradley Beal's age, at least not right now. And you can start trying to win championships. You can start going for that goal because that is the end goal for this team. They've made that very apparent that this is a win or bust type of team, type of roster. It's a win or bust roster. And so I just think that Bradley Beal, you're paying him $44 million. That is a whole lot of money to be paying Bradley Beal. And though, yes, Bradley Beal is a great basketball player, Bradley Beal wasn't an all-star this year. Bradley Beal is getting paid $44 million. Bradley Beal is not better at anything than Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. He doesn't bring anything to the table compared to those two players. So what are you adding? You're adding more scoring, yes, but you're also making sure your team is, at least with this current roster, at most going to have mediocre defense. You are not really improving. Like, a team can score the goddamn basket with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. The team will figure out how to be an offensive threat with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and they were an offensive threat. And Kevin Durant was not even on their playbook, and they still were difficult to deal with. I mean, people thought that they were going to beat the Denver Nuggets. People thought that they were going to make it all the goddamn way. After playing 20-something games, they looked unreal. They looked unstoppable when they were in the regular season, when Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were both dropping 30 bombs. Now what? You're going to say every game, Bradley Beal's going to drop 25, Devin Booker's going to drop 30, Kevin Durant's going to drop 30? Is that your plan for scoring? Because it better be, because you ain't got no one else on the roster. They got 5 players signed. 5 players signed to this team. One of them ain't even safe in DeAndre Ayton, because we don't know what's going on with that man. We don't know if he's going to get traded. He seems very unmotivated on the court. So you have DeAndre Ayton, which we're uncertain if he's going to stay. You have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and you have Cameron Payne. That's your roster. That is your roster. And bringing in Bradley Beal, you're not bringing in LeBron James. You're not. You're not bringing on Jason Tatum. You're not bringing in Giannis. You're not bringing in fucking Joel Embiid. You're not bringing in anybody that would make you think. You're not bringing on a Kevin Durant caliber player. You didn't do that type of trade. So it is not a big three that has unbelievable talent, because we've seen Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden not work. And I would say that big three, purely off talent alone, is more talented than this current team. I would say that this current team is less talented than that team, at least big three wise. And less talented because you ain't got no goddamn players to play. You're going to have to pick up a Torrey Craig, you're gonna have to resign at the very least, but you're gonna have to resign. You're gonna have to sign those players, those Ray Allen on the Heat, those Ray John Rondo on the 2020 Lakers, those Dwight Howard on the 2020 Lakers. That's the type of deals you're gonna have to sign, because otherwise, you're not gonna have a team. You're not gonna have a roster. And we know three people, and we know, at least we've seen, that 3 players of this caliber can completely not win a championship. We've seen that as good as players can be, 3 players cannot win you basketball games, cannot win you high-level basketball games. And so, I don't know what to think about this trade. I would assume, or at least I would like to pretend in my head, that Devin Booker is going to be running that point guard spot. I mean, we've seen him average around 7 assists per game before. We've seen him without Chris Paul be able to be this guy that can handle the rock and dish it out to others and have not just him have a good night, but those around him have a good night. So I would personally prefer them have Devin Booker as a starting point guard. So you got him, you got BEAL, you got possibly Torrey Craig or KD, and then whichever one of those two, either Torrey Craig or KD, playing the 3 or the 4, and then you got DeAndre Ayton. And I would say that's a good starting lineup, but there's a whole nother unit you still got to figure out. Who you got in there? Cameron Payne? That's it. That's your bench. You have a 6-man rotation there, and right now you have a 5-man rotation because y'all ain't even figure out what's happening with anybody else, with any other player. Y'all ain't figured that out yet. So I don't know what to say about this team. If I am being frank, I don't know what to think about this team. Because on one hand, I'm thinking, oh, they got so much talent. They're going to figure it out. I know Devin Booker can figure out how to play with these guys. I know Kevin Durant can figure out how to play with Bradley Beal. And I know Bradley Beal can fit into that 3rd string role perfectly. And I know he's going to be even more elite as a 3rd string than he was as the best player, because Bradley Beal as your 3rd string is a pretty damn good 3rd string. And I'm also thinking, oh, you didn't even you gave up Chris Paul, 2nd round picks, Landry Shamet, and a couple of pick swaps. That's pretty good for you. But then I'm thinking, how is this team going to play? How is this team going to play? I want to see it on the court so badly, but we gotta wait until goddamn October. I really don't know what to think about this trade from the side of the Phoenix Suns. If I have to give it a very early grade, obviously we don't know who Chris Paul's trade partner is going to be, and we don't know if that trade partner is going to give you anything else. But if I had to grade it right now, I'd give this trade like a C+, man, because there's so many things that are uncertain about this trade still. And though this trade is a move towards, it's a move towards the right direction, which is the ultimate goal of winning a championship, I don't know if this trade is gonna get you there. So I'm gonna leave all of y'all with that thought.